Greetings, mortals. It is I, Luther, here with another episode of Tapes of the Lost. Tonight, we lift the veil on an organization whose name once honored the devil himself, Lucifer, and whose goals reach far beyond prayer and goodwill. It exists inside the halls of one of the most powerful organizations in the world, the United Nations, and seeks to transform the entire world with its dark satanic mission. This secretive organization speaks of power and speaks of divine plans, and the coming of a new world order. This is the story of the Lucis Trust, and it is very, very real.
In 1922, a publishing company appeared in New York under the name Lucifer Publishing Company. Its founders, Alice and Foster Bailey, were devout Theosophists, spiritual seekers drawn to ancient occult teachings, karma, reincarnation, and cosmic hierarchies. To them, Lucifer was not Satan, but the bringer of light, a misunderstood archetype, representing enlightenment and truth. But to the public, Lucifer Publishing sounded like something entirely different. Within 3 years, the Baileys changed the name to Lucis Trust. Still, their writings never renounced the symbolism. They doubled down on it. Alice Bailey claimed to be in telepathic contact with an ascended master named Jwal Khul, a Tibetan spiritual being who dictated 24 volumes of esoteric teachings through her. These teachings became the core of Lucis Trust doctrine, the plan for humanity. It wasn't just about personal enlightenment. It was about preparing the world for the emergence of a new global order, spiritually aligned and hierarchically structured, not through force, but through transformation. In 1923, Bailey and her followers established the Arcane School, an esoteric training institution to shape the consciousness of spiritual leaders across the world. Students enrolled in decade-long correspondence courses, learning how to align with their sole purpose, invoke planetary energies, and serve as channels for the externalization of the hierarchy. What hierarchy? According to Bailey, the Earth is overseen by a hidden spiritual government made up of masters of wisdom, enlightened beings guiding the evolution of humanity. And one of them, the world teacher, would soon return. Not Jesus, not Buddha, but a new unified messianic figure for all religions, often referred to as the Christ or Maitreya. The school still exists today. It is not a church, it is not a religion, and yet it functions like both. Bailey's writings taught that those resistant to the plan may not survive the transition into the New Age. She referred to them as the forces of materialism, barriers that must be overcome. By 1932, Bailey and the Trust expanded their reach by forming World Goodwill, a project aimed at promoting right human relations and supporting the ideals of global cooperation. World Goodwill quickly became affiliated with the newly formed United Nations. Today, Lucis Trust is listed as an NGO with consultative status at the UN's Economic and Social Council, a rare privilege granted to groups that directly support UN goals. Lucis Trust has hosted meditation rooms, spiritual summits, and policy-adjacent dialogues at the UN headquarters in New York. Their literature praises the UN not just as a political body, but as a spiritual one. According to Bailey, it represents the embryonic seed of global enlightenment. But here's where it gets stranger. Bailey's teachings call for the eventual formation of a one-world government, a unified world religion, and a global economy ruled by enlightened initiates. Their presence at the UN has sparked concern from religious watchdogs, conspiracy theorists, and former intelligence officials alike. Why? Because no one voted for Lucis Trust. And yet, it has a spiritual foothold in the most powerful institution on Earth. One of the most unusual and widely participated efforts from Lucis Trust is the Triangles Network. Participants, tens of thousands across the globe, form spiritual triangles. Every day they visualize energy flowing between their group, channeling light into the world through planetary etheric grids. It's meditation, but it's also ritual. Participants use the Great Invocation, a prayer that Bailey claimed was given to her by higher beings. It's repeated like a spiritual beacon, aimed at reaching the minds of world leaders and shifting global consciousness. The purpose? To prepare humanity for the externalization of the hierarchy, the moment the spiritual masters would take their rightful place as humanity's guides. Whether seen as benign or deeply manipulative, the triangles work on a principle that collective intention can shape human behavior at scale. Critics argue this is mass spiritual influence masquerading as goodwill. Proponents call it planetary healing. But the structure, the vocabulary, the secrecy, it all looks like a ritual invocation systems, one hiding in plain sight. In Bailey's writings, the goal is clear: the emergence of the plan, a blueprint laid out by the spiritual hierarchy for the evolution of society. The plan includes global governance aligned with divine principles, a world spiritual teacher to lead all faiths, a shift from nationalism to planetary citizenship, the re-education of humanity to accept esoteric truths. And she's specific. This plan will not be implemented by force. It will be done by influencing thought, culture, policy, and spirit. Bailey believed humanity is nearing a spiritual crisis, and only through guided transformation will we avoid destruction. But who gets to decide that transformation? And if the plan is real, who's already helping carry it out?
The Lucis Trust doesn't hide in the shadows. It illuminates them. Its teachings speak of light, goodwill, and unity. But its roots are deep in the occult. Its reach touches policy. Its language is spiritual. But its goals, global. Some say this is the new spirituality, an evolution of consciousness. Others say it's the framework for control. Until next time, mortals, watch the light too closely, and you just might miss the hands moving in the dark.